Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, we are hearing from a child sexual assault victim as his abuser is finally sentenced. Hear how he's pushing through the pain more than a decade later.
We're also following breaking news here at 10 o'clock tonight as police investigate a shooting in the downtown area of one city. We'll tell you what we know tonight.
We want to ice out AIDS.
And it's World AIDS Day. Find out how some in Connecticut are trying to raise awareness about the disease and honor those who have died from it. But we begin at 10 with that Fox 61 exclusive. We are hearing from the victim of a sexual assault after his abuser is sentenced more than a decade later. Good evening, I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here. A man from Manchester has been sentenced after he was found guilty of sexually assaulting a boy at the after-school program that he ran. The victim was 11 years old at the time. Now he's 23, and he's sharing his story for the very first time with Fox 61's DeAndrea Turner. She joins us live in Hartford with the exclusive story tonight. DeAndrea?
Well, you guys, this took courage for this young man to share his story and to break his silence. But tonight, he is saying after 10 years, he wants everyone to know if you're in this situation to please speak up. Life was good for then 11-year-old Donnell Clark until it slowed down to a complete stop.
I always wondered, why would he do that every night except Sunday?
This question is still left unanswered even after the Hartford Superior Court jury convicted Minister Robert Lee Nichols in September of touching Clark in sexual ways when he was just 11 years old. For the first time, Clark is sharing those painful memories.
Every night it was just miserable.
He says this crime happened during a 10-day visit to the Nichols family home in Manchester. He held on to this for 10 years.
I was 21 when I told.
Full of fear.
He told me if I ever told my mom what was happening, he would hurt her.
That fear turned to resilience.
After I saw what he did to the other kids, I realized, you know what, I got to put a stop to this.
Nichols also has another criminal case pending against him, where he is accused of torturing a 10-month-old baby back in 2013. He was arrested in this case in August 2018.
My one word changed everything for everybody and got him in jail. I could have stopped it when I had a chance.
But you're stopping it now.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad I did.
Moving forward.
I look at my daughter, I look like, wow, like I'm glad I'm not that person.
His life is going again.
I'm trying to do what's better for my family. That's what I'm doing.
And you guys, Nichols is set to be back here in court on December 8th to appeal his case. For now, here in Hartford, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61 News.
All right, DeAndrea, thank you. Let's move along here to the Weather Watch tonight. New Britain was one of the hardest hit areas by yesterday's storms across the state. Hundreds of customers without power as the rain and the wind brought down power lines, as you see. The electricity came back on just before 5 o'clock this morning.
And what a difference 24 hours makes. We had sunny weather today, right? But chilly, that's for sure.
It got cold. Hi, Rich.
Hi, and it looks like that chill is going to be sticking around for one more day. But we actually have another round of rain and wind to tell you about for Saturday. Don't worry, it won't be quite as intense as what we got through yesterday, though. 32 degrees right now in the Hartford area. New Haven is up to 39 or down to 39. I wanted to show you this. The wind has calmed down from what we were dealing with, obviously yesterday. But even just for what we were dealing with earlier today, it was still blustery. And it looks like the wind won't be an issue for us tomorrow. Currently, we're looking at temperatures in the 30s, upper 20s, though, in Danbury. And in case you didn't notice, it is so much colder than it was at this time yesterday, up to 20 degrees colder in some areas. Lows tonight dropping back into the 20s, so there's definitely a chill at the bus stop tomorrow morning, but at least not a wind chill for the first time in a little while. Lots of sunshine tomorrow, high temperatures climbing just around average for this time of year in the mid to upper 40s. By the way, welcome to December, the official start to meteorological winter, the coldest quarter of the year, December, January, February. Tomorrow night, we'll see increasing clouds as our next storm heads our way. Again, that's going to bring us rain and gusty winds for your Saturday, but there will be dry time this weekend too. We'll step you through it. Full forecast coming up.
Rachel, thank you. We're following breaking news out of Waterbury tonight, where police are investigating a shooting downtown.
It happened about a couple blocks from Hamilton Park and the Brass Mills Center shopping center. Fox 61's Brent Harden joining us in the breaking news center with what we are learning right now. Brent.
Yeah, Jen, Ben, Waterbury police are currently looking at two scenes right now after a teen boy was found with a gunshot wound this afternoon. Now, police say officers were called to shots fired on East Main Street just before 5 o'clock. They found evidence of gunshots, but no victims were found there. And then about 15 minutes later, officers responded to a report of a gunshot victim about 2 miles away on Scott Road. And there they found a 17-year-old with a wound. He was taken to a hospital. He is expected to survive his injury. Now, both incidents are under investigation right now, though police do not know if they are connected. And of course, anyone with information about either scene should call Waterbury Police. We'll continue to follow this breaking news and bring you the updates as soon as we get them. In the Breaking News Center, I'm Brent Harden. Ben, Jen, back to you.
All right, thank you, Brent. We have an update tonight to breaking news that we first brought you last night on the Fox 61 News at 10. Police say the driver of a crash on Interstate 91 North has died. North Haven police say a car drove off the highway near exit 12 and crashed into a tree. The car then burst into flames and the driver died at the scene. Police have not released the victim's identity at this time. The crash is still under investigation.
Waterbury police have made an arrest in connection to a homicide that happened in September. Police worked with officials in Puerto Rico to locate Gelson Cruz, who'd been staying on the island as he's facing charges in connection to the death of 26-year-old Jordan Savage. Savage was shot and killed in the parking lot of the Colonial Grocery back on September 13th.
Well, we are hearing from state and federal law enforcement tonight as they search for a Naugatuck man accused of murdering his baby daughter. 31-year-old Christopher Francis Sweeney has been missing for about 2 weeks. He's wanted in the killing of his 11-month-old girl, Camilla. The FBI calls this act heinous and violent, and agents believe there could be people helping him hide. Billboards for Francis Sweeney are along Interstate 95, 91, and 84. He's facing 2 charges: murder with special circumstances and risk of injury to a child.
He may have also attempted to change his appearance, such as shaving his beard, cutting his hair, or hiding the very distinctive tattoos on his neck and on his hand. The search will not stop until we find you and that we bring you in.
Now, some law enforcement members are also wearing pink wristbands now, which say "Justice for Camilla." She would have turned 1 on Saturday. Anyone who thinks they may have spotted Francis Sweeney should call 911 or the FBI. Police say you should not approach him since he's considered dangerous.
New Haven police are asking for your help finding someone they believe may have information about a 2020 homicide. Police are releasing this photo tonight. They want to talk to this person who might have information about the shooting death of Nathaniel Henry. Henry was killed outside of a Wendy's on Wheelie Avenue in March of 2020. If you recognize this person, call police. Well, new at 10 tonight, a Massachusetts man was arrested nearly 1 year after a deadly crash in North Canaan. State police say 22-year-old Gerard Siri of Holyoke was driving a delivery van on Route 44 westbound back on December 29th of last year. He crossed the center line and crashed head-on with a car. The other driver, 57-year-old Carl Blair, died from his injuries a month later. In the arrest warrant, Siri told investigators that he dozed off behind the wheel and that FedEx did not allow for brakes. He's free on $35,000 bond and due in Torrington Superior Court on the 14th.
Well, 6 people were injured in a crash involving a handicap van in Southington this morning. The town's fire department says the van and a car crashed at the intersection of Executive Boulevard and West Street just after 11:30. 5 of the people injured were taken to hospitals, and all are expected to survive their injuries. Southington police investigators are still looking into what caused that crash.